All right, so brief overview.
Start with the name.
Okay. My name is Rodney Sampson. As I was saying, I'm a native of Atlanta. And so my mindset has always been one of social conscience, but at the same time, entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first company as an undergraduate at Tulane University in marketing and business development. And then when I was in medical school in Pennsylvania, at Penn State, I started a marketing company for health events, awareness, concerts, etc. And I owned a restaurant in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Made a life course change, decided I did not want to pursue medicine. Came back to Atlanta to get an MBA, and I started working at a church. I was running the operations gym of a mega church here in the southwest side of Atlanta. And so I learned the culture of churches, I learned how churches operate, I learned the economics of churches, and I learned how they could be leveraged as a target economic base. For instance, I just spoke a month ago at a church with 10,000 plus members. You know, that 10,000 plus members is worth about $300 million a year in, income or what have you. So fast forward now, as a bishop in the church, I'm focused on economics and innovation. Identify innovative strategies, innovative information, innovative best practices, innovative solutions, technologies, you name it, and bringing that back to underserved communities and building market share for those respective partners. And I've created a niche, and pretty successful niche, at identifying technologies, whether we innovate it, build it ourselves, or whether we private label, customize it, and take it back to the underserved communities. So we follow the crisis. Right now there's a crisis in our world, but in our country economically. However, the underserved communities live in a constant state of economic crisis. It's like an emerging economy, in a evolved world.
I'm from Pakistan, and you probably know that, and we exactly know what you're talking about.
Right.
We're born in that crisis and raised up in that crisis and get education in the same crisis.
Sure.
It's never over, even till today.
Right.
So I completely know where you're coming from.
So, but we see a glimmer of hope, particularly in America, and I think that's the opportunity, is because we can aggregate those audiences by using technology and media, but then also the relationships with the other top bishops that are looking for this type information. Just recently we formed what we call an economic consortium. That's the loose title, to address the crisis, the multiple crises that are impacting and affecting African American communities, Hispanic, Latino communities, and other communities as well, that will be considered underserved. And underserved also crosses over into majority communities, whether it be white, Jewish, etc. It's poverty is not discriminated. Poverty will befriend anybody, or ignorance, and I don't say that in a demeaning way, but just not having access to information. So there's also, I know grandmothers, or I know people that keep $50,000 cash in their home. They're unbanked.
Can I have the address?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because there's been a distrust with the banking system, or there's been a lack of knowledge with that. So we're creating solutions. So we're creating the first crowd fund that will serve the underserved communities.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we're in that legal process now. That's about a 6 to 9 month process through the SEC, and we're also connecting with large user groups, like whether they are, Jim, from the direct response industry. We're partnering with a young lady who has 70,000 distributors, primarily African American distributors, in her network. So we're building these aggregated networks that we can take technology, content, and publishing. So the idea, of course, with a Pearson would be to kind of create content, whether we customize it or private label it, make it relevant to these respective communities.
You're addressing to them, not to anybody else. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we can take it to those respective communities.
And we can, and through Pearson, we also can create online courses, education courses.
Absolutely, and that part is exciting to me. I cut my teeth in digital media. One of the startups, it was an Atlanta-based startup. We started here in 2000 called Multicast Media Technologies. Multicast Media Technologies. We were in the streaming.
Early player in the
Early
streaming
player.
business.
That company was sold to Kit Digital. I created also the faith-based, streaming entity called streamingfaith.com, and it's still the largest aggregator of content. So these churches across the world use the technology to broadcast their services live and over the internet. Actually, my first encounter with someone from Pakistan was when they contacted me and said that they had saw some of our church services over the internet.
Oh,
So that, you talk about, I think it's Thomas Friedman who talks about the world is flat.
Flat, yeah. I read his book.
Yeah, we've played a small part in that disruption by taking niche market content, monetizing it, and distributing it.
Let me go to your underserved community here.
Yeah.
The underserved community, does it also include other ethnic groups and Latinos?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It crosses over, and rather than targeting minority communities, I think that limits us. We're targeting underserved communities.
Just leave him on there. Leave it on him.
Welcome, Jim. It's good to have you today.
This is the other voice.
Jim's still a little old school. He don't want a digital footprint.
Jim doesn't want to be on a video, and last time he refused on my face.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
I didn't refuse.
It's okay. I know how to translate when people say something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my Polish shame.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. So it's a phenomenal amount of opportunity because, going into underserved communities aren't easy. But if you're first to market and you stay in the market, if you're at the bottom of the economic pole, you can only go up.
That's a universal, almost first to market, speed to market. That's
First to market owns the market.
On the market.
Right.
That's a universal thing.
Yeah.
But in your underserved communities, because quote unquote you are one of them, you understand them.
Yeah.
They will listen to you more. Hey, he's one of us, and really taking us to the next level. They're not going to listen to him much because he's trying to take away our money. It's a different mindset, perception.
Yeah.
They're going to listen.
And the key is, because of my influence, let's say, because they view me as on the road to success, or experienced some success in a shorter period of time. They respect my voice, and I can also bring Jim in, I can bring you in, and I can bring other guys.
Endorsements.
Absolutely. And you want it to be inclusive. I always say it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's not a green thing. Well, it's a green thing. It is a green thing where everybody can share in it. So,
absolutely. Rodney, let me ask you a few questions so I get it. I know all this one is going to build a huge empire for you, because you're going to make a brand name and many people will love you what you're doing. What is the number one thing is driving you to do this? It's really serving them, or is it really collecting money?
It's really not success. It's really about significance. Okay. And I think significance is tied to legacy. Mm-hmm. And if I can impart a little bit of the information, the best practices, the experiences, the successes and the failures, the good times and the bad times, if I can take that and impart that into today's culture and tomorrow's culture, I think about my 5 children and how I'm able to interact with them and sow seeds. We homeschool them, so we have a lot of interaction. We are impressing them, towards their future. To me, that's most important. Who wants to have a $1 billion empire and can't help change the world with definitive focus? And I think it's if you study and read Napoleon Hill, his writings talk about definitive purpose and definitive focus and knowing why you were created. And I truly believe that I was created to bring value to the planet. And entrepreneurship, unlike other causes, whether it be social issues, cultural issues, political issues. People have used different types of platforms to bring people together. But I think entrepreneurship is that catalyst. And I'm talking about that in this book, Kingonomics, that comes out in January, is where other platforms may have failed in terms of actually bringing people together. I mean, if you look at the makeup of this meeting, you're from Pakistan. He's from Mars,
That's correct. And I want to get to Venus.
Right, yeah. And, I'm from another world, another universe.
Yeah.
But we're here together
What's
talking
the common?
about...
Yeah, that's entrepreneurship. Yeah.
So I think if we leverage that more, it's a phenomenal opportunity. So when you take all of the issues, put it aside, people get up every day wanting to make money, and we want them to make money and do good.
Do good, absolutely.
Do good.
Let me ask you one more little blunt question and a little bit harder on you.
Yeah.
So, let's say you don't have any financial concerns on your side, you're like a financially independent already, you already have a financial freedom, and whatever you're trying to do, this absolutely have $0 sign attached to it. Would you still do this or not?
Absolutely.
You will do it?
Absolutely.
With no second thought?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll give you an example.
That means, here's why I asked this question, just you know that, because we're sitting in face to face. I wanted to know, is this your passion or you're just doing for money? That was my question.
He was living this passion before he developed his financial skills.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But that's how you can isolate everything and get to the bottom of it.
I mean, now, for instance, my pursuit of this crowdfunding to bring back, my pursuit of technologies, I go into communities and churches now, and whereas I could be charging $5,000, $10,000 honorariums, I go for free. I go and speak, and if they do give me an honorarium, it goes into our nonprofit. So
that's amazing.
I am committed.
Thank you so much.
To that cause.
That really means a lot.
I'm serious about that.
Someone actually who really care from their heart about their own people. Not many in this world.
Oh yeah.
There's very few.
Yeah, there are a lot of what they call poverty pimps.
Yes.
Where they make their wealth off of other people staying.
Yeah.
My thing is I want people to supersede even what I know, who I know, what relationships I have. Absolutely. I'm already thinking about how Pearson as a publishing company can benefit other people in my network that want to write books or want to develop content, as well.
We all need to be socially responsible.
Absolutely.
And probably the majority of the people don't know what it means.
No.
Just like they don't know what sustainable means.
Right.
Yeah. They look into the dictionary what their word means, but they don't really connect with people.
Right.
The dictionary doesn't really give people perspective. They only give the meaning of that word, and that's it. Okay. What you are looking from Pearson and outside of Pearson, or like as a whole global picture, here are the top 5 things I'm looking for.
I'm looking for a long-term partner. Someone who's committed to the journey. Figuring out, we may not figure it out all today, but figuring out that type of partnership, number one. Number two, I'm looking for a partner that's also open to learning. Let's put all of our preconceived notions and biases aside, and let's go in with a fresh mind. Well, I heard this about this community, or I heard this about, that community. Throw that out.
That's all garbage, by the way.
Right.
They are created for something else.
Let's look at people for who they are, and if we do see them as people that may be categorized or stereotyped, we also can influence change in those people. And I think the leveraging of a Pearson and the credibility that it can bring also to this initiative, serves to be good. I think the third thing is to also, we want to create market share, but we also want to make sure that there are stakeholders, meaning equity holders, people that are owners in this movement that we create that are from the community that we're going to serve.
Absolutely.
We don't want to go in and just take all the money out. And it doesn't go back in. And so I think
it's kind of reinvesting back into their own success. So if somebody clone you in like 5 years from now, and somebody is, when you are working with so many people, there are few are very smart people, it took you to 10 years to get there where you are, and somebody could, with under your own leadership and what you're sharing with
Absolutely.
them, it may take them 1 year to actually get to you where you are.
Absolutely.
How would you feel if somebody kind of know more than you in your own organization?
I welcome. I feel good.
Oh, okay.
I feel good. You know, most people are bound by their ego.
Yeah.
And I think ego breeds insecurity. And I think all of us, we struggle with that a little bit just
Yeah.
as humans.
We all
But
have a different version of insecurities. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's human nature. You can't avoid that.
You know, I was telling somebody the other day, they were talking to me about being on the board of directors of their technology company. And I was telling them, you know, in the technology world, at 35, you know, you can be considered, you know,
Old
not
dude.
old, you know, and so you're starting to get board positions where it's like in the finance community, you might be 55 or 60.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited about now mentoring, you know, entrepreneurs in their teens, entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm mentoring. I thought I was mentoring this young entrepreneur out of Chicago, real disruptive programmer, technologist. I told him the other day, I said, you know, I'm the student now.
Oh, okay.
You're the teacher.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm learning from you
From you.
now, and I feel very good about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you add more to the list there?
Did I say have fun on there? We gotta have some fun.
Absolutely. That's
good.
critical. If there's no fun, you don't do it. You know?
That's number one. If you don't have fun, there's no purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then just, you know, legacy. You know, I'm big on documentation. You know, I want the Amistad Research Center at Tulane University. I've been talking to them about a partnership. I did my undergrad at Tulane. I was there about a month and a half ago visiting this center, and I've been talking to them about preserving the papers, the journeys, you know, the notes that we take so that future generations can see that. But I think with Pearson, we can document this almost in the form of like a reality style type show where, you know, these type of meetings that we have, you know, they're captured so that future generations can see
The
and
whole thing
glean.
developed, everything is being documented. They can see that, oh, no, they're a big empire, what happened, how they started.
Right.
So they can see, okay, here we were sitting on one table, Jim was paying for coffee for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's how everything started.
Localization.
Localization.
Your communities that you're building, and your purpose seems like it needs to be emphasize localization, that communities where you live.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you know, and I'm kind of, if I follow my relational path, you know, I see huge opportunities for us, you know, kind of a local, global approach, you know, definitely in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a huge opportunity in rural markets because there's a lot of underutilized land. There's a lot of opportunity for community and economic development. You know, major cities are overbuilt, but there's a lot of untapped wealth in these rural cities or even in tier 2 cities. Like, for instance, with the Kingonomics, let's say this wealth tour that we're putting together, you know, we want to hit cities like Mobile, Birmingham,
They're
Jackson.
almost like a bird down. You know?
Absolutely.
Everybody ignored them. I don't know where these politicians are sitting, by the way.
Right.
Oh, it's so sad. I've been to that
Yeah.
one. It's like your heart goes up. This is America.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so sad.
You know, that's
Don't look
that's
at the
where we gotta
shining
go.
building here. You know, that's only in a certain part of the city.
Right.
Everything else is.
Everything else is blighted.
Yeah.
You know, but that's where the opportunities are. You know, we want to hit the New Orleans, the Houstons.
It's probably more personified in the South,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You know, if you hit that East Coast down across that South all the way to Texas.
So in response to your list here, why Pearson is a good partner for you, or potential partner candidate, is the fact that from a long-term partnership, Pearson's the largest educational publisher in the world, so they're in it for the long haul. They're in every educational institution there is.
Okay.
Open to learning, the fact that they're a female-run company, and their success they directly attribute to the drive and passion of that female to make that company go from a transition of traditional publishing to digital publishing.
Okay, how about
Their
that?
growth, their reward in terms of financial value has been growing right through these hard times because of the passion and drive of the woman that runs that company. creating a marketplace. Pearson has global outreach, being in 160 different countries.
And with today in every language.
And working very closely in China and India and Brazil. Legacy documentations, they acquire a company for repositories and being able to update lectures and content. Being the content king. If the content isn't out there, they customize content all the time. And so Pearson really is a great candidate to learn from you.
So you understand the impact. How they do is they repurpose content every almost $800 million. Wow. Repurpose, not creating new content. That's a separate.
Just
repurposing. Just alone that part, because you mentioned about how it's to focus on your community. They can take the existing content and package it together in a way so it's really talking to me. That's repurposing.
Right, absolutely.
They have $800 million practice on that.
So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We
don't have to reinvent the wheel. What we have to do is be patient with them, because they are such a diversified company that a lot of the companies that they own, the other companies don't know what they do.
Right.
And black boxes.
You know, it's like Pearson VUE is a technology company that certifies, technologies, the softwares. So if somebody wants to be
Microsoft certified, Oracle certified, Sun certified, MCSE.
But through that same organization, they're also doing the social thing, and that is helping people get their GEDs. So they're addressing programs for people who are not in school, how to earn their GEDs.
And they are doing it all over.
Okay. So it'd be good to see I don't know if there's a chart or something that shows all of Pearson's subsidiaries.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
They're like a $9 billion company, and I'm sure
you probably have to look at. Are they privately held or
it's
public?
Maybe like a Coke recipe, which nobody knows what that is.
I think they're privately held.
They're privately held?
I think
publicly traded.
They're publicly traded company.
They are.
Okay.
But it's in the UK though, right? I think it's in the UK.
You can look at their public filings to at least see their acquisitions or what have you. I mean, see, the phenomenal opportunity here is you've got in the underserved communities, you've got the people, but you also have the organizations, the corporations.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? One of the projects we're working on now with Audible is aggregating 100,000 recordings from churches. These are their weekly sermons, their messages, right?
Right.
And we're going to put that on Audible on a non-exclusive basis. So I'm not giving Audible full exclusivity.
Right.
And that, once we aggregate that database of recordings, that's valued at about $10 million a year. And so we were going to take 25% of the royalties to go towards an educational fund. And I'm working with some of the HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities like Lincoln University. So that brings in the colleges and universities. We're going to take 25% towards economic and community development, 25% towards definitive causes like education. I like the GED program, entrepreneurship training, finance training, criminal justice training.
The approach to your entrepreneurial approach to solving social needs really is personified in the new Jobs Act, where money is being directed towards creating new businesses, and where new businesses are coming from. Where jobs are coming from new businesses.
Yeah, but that's where jobs come. Even when startups aren't successful, when startups employ people for 3 or 4 years, it has a contribution.
And the entrepreneurs are in a hiring mode than the big corporations are.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that always has been the case, by the way, but they don't get a credit for that.
Right.
And the majority of new companies are being started by women.
And they don't need bailout. They don't
Right.
need any bailout money from all this mess.
Yeah.
That's right.
They don't need anything. They are only looking at leave me free,
Yeah.
let me work on this stuff.
Let me build my business.
That's it.
And as a part of this, I really want us to build a huge database.
Oh
Because
yeah, of course.
that
That's a given.
database.
That's given.
Yeah.
Here's a small thing which I was in Houston the other day. That was absolutely regarding what you are doing without even talking to you. There's a non-profit over there. They have a 12 medical clinic developed in underserved areas.
Okay.
40-50 million people have no health insurance or under insurance.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
co-pays are higher than like any junk food.
Right.
It's like people don't even go to doctor. They only charge $29 to visit the doctor.
Wow.
Okay, and then all the X-ray and all the simple stuff, like not too complicated.
Okay.
Fraction of the cost what where you go to the hospital and actually do it.
Sure.
They have a 12 clinic already. They are seeing 70 to 100,000 patients every year in one clinic.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So
I was-
community-based health, right?
It's all community based.
Yeah.
No discrimination to anybody. Anybody who need help. You see that?
Yeah.
I can show you the exact example. So I was in meeting with them. I just went to Houston for 2 hours. Land, go to the meeting,
Yeah.
and they just come back. Because they want to roll out that model all over US,
Okay.
and they want help.
Yeah.
You see that how it's kind of absolutely connected? Because you can feed everything, and the medical is also a part of
Absolutely.
everybody's
Yeah.
life.
What good is money without health and wellness? So you got to have
And
both
we have
components.
already the technical people, PhDs and doctors and specialists
Okay.
already on board.
Wow.
And I asked them the same question. If there's no money inside for you, would you do it? They say, I will do it and die doing this one. This is how much. They already proved, not one, 12 of them in one city, everything is working. City of Houston gave them millions of dollars. It's like they're all very, kind of role model, like a pilot,
Right.
all worked out. Now they want to go into all over the US.
Wow.
So, and I can definitely, this one connection can do a lot for us
Sure.
in
Sure.
you, what you're thinking.
Sure. I like that. I want to make that connection happen.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to bring them to Atlanta for something.
Okay.
Visit when it happens, we will arrange a meeting.
Okay. Very
Got
good.
it? So,
Very good. Good. Good.
again, they don't discriminate Pakistani or it doesn't matter. Anybody who need help, basically, that's the model, not where they are from. Or, that's what values align, everything.
Sure. 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 I love it.
Are we good on this?
Yeah.
Almost?
I think
James,
we're good.
you want to say as a closing statement?
Let's
No,
make it happen.
I feel privileged to introduce you, Siddique, to my friend Rodney.
Oh, thank you. Don't you think so? I already know him. Thank you.
Spiritually, you do.
It's kindred spirits, right? Kindred spirits.
No, but thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
I really let
Okay.
me. So, folks, I will sit there.
Okay. You come over here? Okay.
So I'm sure you want to see me too. So that's why let me put myself in a camera. And Jim doesn't want to be on a camera for some reason. You know what?
My fan club is big enough.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jim. Thank you. We are going to make this happen. That's our promise.
Let's
Okay.
make it happen.
Thank you.
Good deal.